So apparently this is real. Star Citizen is actually adding player apartments that you can own inside of the cities. And I missed this when it first dropped. And this is my first time watching the original reveal. The things they planned here and what they're going to do with cities like Lorville and Area 18 is absolutely insane, and it really just expands the game that much more. I was genuinely impressed by this, and I don't know when it's coming out, but I cannot wait to see it when it's finished, and apparently it's already been in the works for quite some time.
This week, it's another Journey to 4.0 special, where we jump farther ahead and take a look at work scheduled to make its persistent universe debut in the upcoming 4.x branch of release. And this week, we're proud to bring Star Citizen art director Ian Leyland back to share with us a first look inside the buildings of Star Citizen's landing zones.
Okay, here we go. Shubin Interstellar. Let me know if the volume is okay, guys. I'm going to lower it a tiny bit. Let me know if it's good.
So building interiors is something we've always wanted to do, because of, we've had cities in the game for a while. We have many cities, we have many buildings. Therefore, we could have many interiors. It's a perfect opportunity to put in a lot of play space. Now, with the players flying around these buildings, they've been largely urban landscapes, fairly uninteractable. We've done a few landing pads to get the players in and out there, but really the real good stuff was on the inside. So up until now, we've been on the outside wondering about the inside, and today we're going to talk about the inside.
A lot of inside outside. That's interesting. I didn't actually know there was landing pads on the top of cities. That's brand new to me. I had no idea. And I honestly just thought this was always going to be just a look. Like, I didn't think you were going to actually be able to traverse inside of buildings. That's amazing. Like, I have no idea. But yeah, absolutely.
Looking outside.
Journey to 4.0. Okay, we are definitely past 4.0, but I think he did say 4.0 branch. So maybe he's talking about like 4.0 to 5.0. So we still have some time if we want to get this done. We'll see, though. We'll see.
All right, so we're building interiors. The way in which we approach the concept development, now this was just a pure blue sky ideation phase.
Okay.
And the idea was to create inspirational material to use that as a content to inspire conversations, to find out what do we want to do for the game, what is cool for the game, and use that as the initial springboard for the conversation. So what we'll be looking through here is a presentation of blue sky ideation, primarily used as a springboard to start conversations with Chris, with the design director, and the game director, to understand what do we want to put in the game, what could be cool for the game, and we use that as that initial inspiration point.
Now, I want to say something. I like the idea of like let's just say opening a door, walking in, and like seeing an internal building. I don't know much about server stuff. I'm sorry, but like with instancing, for instance, and server meshing, couldn't they do that a lot easier now with instancing, where you just seamlessly walk through a door and you're in an instance and you don't even know it? Couldn't they do that? If they could, my goodness, the stuff that you could do in there is just endless, dude. It's kind of exciting. Sorry. Okay.
So when we're talking about building interiors, how could we start to break that down? So right off the bat on the top, it's the rooftop spaces. So these would be the primary access points for the player.
Okay.
Then just below that, the maintenance spaces, these could be industrial or technical. Also, we can have residential. So residential could be entire building blocks, so it could be a proportion.
Okay.
Then after that, we've got commercial. So these could be shopping, it could be offices, it could be social.
I like that.
And then at the bottom, obviously, we've got lobbies. Now, these also could be access points for the player. For example, if you're inside Area 18, the player can get access to it there.
Okay.
And then lastly, we've got the underground. Now, these could be interesting as a connector space between buildings. So maybe you've gone in through one building, you go down, and it could bring you through to another part of a building.
That's kind of cool.
Let's start with rooftops. Now, up until now, we've largely designed our cityscapes to be more of a backdrop to the landing zone. We have the social space generally in the middle, and then the cityscape goes around it. And they've been designed to give the best composition, to be interesting to fly around. But we've not really thought about designing these buildings from the inside out.
That's sick.
So what we're looking at here is some potential concepts for what could be interesting landing spaces that drives the architecture of the building. With landing pads, it doesn't necessarily need to be on the top of the building. It could be, halfway down or lower. So imagine, you're in the lower parts of the city, and then we'd open up these additional play spaces. And as you can see here, it's not just the landing pad, it's the gameplay space that goes along with it too.
Dude, that's so
now, it
cool.
doesn't necessarily need to be a single building. Imagine there is a network hub that services a few different buildings. So what we're looking at here is maybe like a transit hub where the player could land, get on some transit, and then that would lead to some buildings. Okay, so maintenance spaces. So these could be really interesting in terms of player interaction. They could be dealing with the power or the maintenance of the building.
So we're going to be maintenance men? Is that what he's saying? Anon in the chat, trusted source here, says all cities have been reworked by now to be able to fit interiors, by the way. They had most of New Babbage done, but are waiting for the first test of this with Levski's municipal works before they implement in other areas. Very cool. That's awesome. Okay.
And then also you could have technical spaces. So these would be more for technicians. It could deal with the data or the communications.
Okay.
And what we're looking at here is potential some, gameplay puzzles where the player has to work their way inside the main operation booth.
We fixed it. All right, so let me go back to what I was gonna say. So one of the cool things is like I always bring up GTA as a game that I think could like destroy I won't say destroy because they're different games. One's a sci-fi game, one's not. I get it. But one thing that this game could do that GTA does that this game doesn't right now, obviously, is like cities. And if you do that, think about that for a second. You have everything that you have in GTA, where you can go into buildings and all of that stuff, and then you have, of course, as well, you have the galaxy. Like, I don't know. That to me, it expands it even further in my mind. But let's keep watching. Let's keep watching.
To residential. So there's a huge amount of potential here. What we wanted to do with residential is two things. One, explore investigating the potential player housing. So with that, we want to be able to create a variety of interior layouts. And also we want to explore a variety of architectural styles. So when we're looking at potential housing layouts, we wanted something fairly modular in a way in which we could create a variety of combinations. So whether it's living spaces or habitation spaces or social spaces. And also here we're looking at, we want the players to eventually be able to populate the player-owned habitation. So you see here like a first indication of how, the sort of dressing styles that you'd be able to do.
Dude! Okay. All right. So I did hear, okay, I'm getting a little excited. I'm sorry. I did hear about apartments. Like some people that are not in our org, like you don't want to be in an org or whatever, you don't have to build player bases. Anon just said this in the chat. You don't have to build player bases, right? You're going to be able to rent an apartment instead, and it's going to be your home. And I would assume it's not going to be able to get attacked because it's like literally insecurity. So you know what I mean? Like that's like your place. And think about like all the decorations you can put. This is a really bad example. Okay, don't kill me. Please don't kill me, chat. I know you will. YouTube comments, I know you're going to kill me for this. Don't kill me, okay? Something that WoW, World of Warcraft, is doing very well right now is their player housing. Now, their player housing is instanced, and it feels really weird because, like, it kind of, I don't know. I haven't really got into it yet, but I don't like instance housing. I've never been a fan of that. But if you can do instance housing without letting me know you're doing it and just sneak it under, under the carpet or just like hide it essentially, then it's much better. Like if I don't know I'm going into an instance, that is what I love. So, the biggest thing for me is in my mind thinking of like how I'd be able to customize somewhere that I rent and put storage and all of that. So like a home outside of your hangar, you know what I mean? A home like that sounds so good to me, dude.
Something that's fairly utilitarian. We also want to do something that could be fairly high end. So here we're just exploring some ideas about what a space could feel like on a different architectural style, and more generous windows, interior spaces dedicated to more than just habitation. And these would be focused on other landing zones. So imagine you come across these in Area 18, or it could be when we come to Terra. And also, like I said, it could be informing.
Is that man getting arrested right there? He had a gun on him. By the way, guys, you're going to be able to wear clothing. When security comes in, you're not going to be able to bring guns inside of, like outside of your hangar, inside of, like when you get off the elevator, inside of those areas. There's going to be no armistice zone. Security is like such a big deal. No armistice zone, and you're going to be able to wear clothes that conceal your weapon so you can like sneak it in. It's crazy. So this guy, obviously on the screen, he got caught with a concealed weapon and he's being arrested by security right now. By the way, it is crazy to me that they have all of these concepts. I'm not an artist, but this has to take a long time to do, no? In my eyes, this has to take a while to do. There's no way that this doesn't take a while, this drawing. Like, they have a million of these. Like, it is so cool. I saw a guy playing a piano. It just starts opening my mind at the possibilities. Like, can I play piano one day? Like, just sit there and play. Like, it's probably way down the road, but like, it'd be cool, man.
Future player-owned habitation architectural sets. Now, outside of the living quarters, there's also the social spaces just outside. And we want these to be more than just the corridors that we're seeing in the game right now. So these could be
Not having a beard, I spill water on my face all the time now, and I hate it. Anyway, let's continue. I want to go back to what he just said. Sorry.
Outside of the living quarters, there's also the social spaces just outside. And we want these to be more than just the corridors that we're seeing in the game right now. So these could be multi-layered social spaces.
Dude.
And these could also inform advanced traversal routes for the player to be able to get inside these habitation rooms.
Wow.
So as we're talking through various architectural styles, what you're seeing here is just a collection of ideas, a collection of architectural intent to create like a palette or a mood that will inform art style and gameplay opportunities.
Is this Area 18, by the way? Because it already looks like that. I'm going to be honest. Like, Area 18, they did a good job in terms of the AI. Like, there's so many of them. It does feel way more alive, in my opinion, than any other place. In my opinion, Area 18 feels alive. I don't know why. There's probably a whole bunch of reasons. It is. Okay, this is Area 18. Yeah, it makes it feel so much more alive than everywhere else.
So outside of residential, we're moving into the commercial area. So what this means is it means we can look at areas that are more gameplay focused outside of player habitation.
What are you going to do? Go to work? Is that what he's going to say?
So when we're talking about these could be office blocks. These could be corporate owned. Inside here, there could be corporate wings. There could be manufacturing. There could be office spaces. And what we try to think about with these, it's more than just a flat room. There should be advanced traversal. It should be multi-tiered. So outside of the commercial offices, we've also got like restaurants and bars. So what we're looking at here is a pretty cool like skyline bar.
Dude, guys, I know you're all against VoIP, but VoIP is going to make everything so good, guys. Imagine just like literally just you're RPing. You just want to RP one day. And I had these days all the time in Ultima Online. If you're an Ultima Online fan, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comment section below. But I had these times all the time in Ultima Online where I would RP. I would just like walk around my character slow with my horse following me and all of this, like whatever, like, and then I'd go sit at the bar or what. Like I would do that all the time because I thought it was so funny and fun. Like, it was just fun. But imagine doing all that, sitting at the bar, getting drunk, and then, you know, you're able to talk to some guy, and maybe your VoIP, maybe your in-game VoIP slurs your speech if you're drunk. Chris Roberts wants cinematic and wants immersion. That's immersion right there. Imagine you're drunk, like slow this video down right now and make it 0.5% and listen to me talk like as I'm talking. It's the funniest thing ever. Imagine that while I'm at the bar talking to you. It would make everyone's day. It would make everyone laugh. It's an added feature that's not needed, but I do think VoIP is 100% needed. And it would make these interactions like really fun. So
in Lowville, that could be fun. But also in restaurants, Chris always described the idea of really high-end restaurants in the game where you can get access to food choices that isn't available anywhere else.
That's sick. Dude, Chris has thought about all, like, dude, there's so much memes about Chris. He's thought about everything, dude. This guy genuinely wants to make a Ready Player One. He genuinely wants, like, he really does. And that just makes me very happy, especially in the space these days where like companies and devs are so scared to do anything because you just, the public just doesn't like change or doesn't like to try new things. In a world that we live in right now where everyone's shutting, like Marathon's a great example, shutting it down day one without even playing it because they're listening to other people's opinions. I love that we're seeing this. It's like bringing life to gaming in my eyes, personally.
So right at the foot of the building, we're going to start talking about the lobby. So as I said before, these are going to be access points to the player, but also we can do more than just a standard foyer that we're seeing in the game right now. So this sort of space we're seeing here is, imagine there's an underground transit network, and that transit station feeds a network of building lobbies. So these could be social spaces. These could be really good combat spaces.
Dude.
They could have access to mini restaurants or bars or facilities.
It's cool.
And we're just showing that in a variety of art styles. So one's a fairly low end, one could be fairly high end, but the infrastructure is the same.
Dude.
So as we're exploring art style opportunities, this then drives where it would be appropriate. So some would be more appropriate in somewhere like Area 18. Some would be more appropriate in somewhere like Horizon. And obviously some would be more appropriate for future landing zones like Odessa or Prime.
Odessa, is that Castra? Odessa's Castra, right? Or is that... I'm still learning. I think it's Terra. I don't know.
And also when we're talking about lobbies, again, what we're trying to do is we're trying to describe multi-layer traversal spaces. So in these illustrations, you're seeing a variety of routes to then help inform the initial conversation with level design.
They have a lot of work to do. Now, finally,
we're going to talk about the underground now. This is, I think, one of the coolest spaces. So rather than just focusing on the positive axis of the building, we're going to look at the underground. Now, what this does, it means we can access a whole area of play space that doesn't need to be contained inside the building. So within the lobby, we want the player to start to traverse down into these spaces, and these could be underground transit networks. They could be abandoned underground transit networks. This then could drive potential racing opportunities. So when we was doing this, we thought, oh, it'd be really cool. Like, what would it look like if there's an underground street race going on there?
Dude, that would be sick.
Also, there could be traversal opportunities. Like I said before, if the player wanted to go into one building, down, and then through, and then up into another building, what would that traversal network be like? Especially if we're thinking about, if it's an older part of the underground of a city, maybe it's less used, people have built up, that would instantly inspire a whole bunch of traversal and investigation missions there. Or maybe there's an old aqueduct or an old infrastructure underground. This could be perfect for underground street racing or
so cool, dude.
Other racing opportunities. So in a nutshell, what we looked at is a blue sky investigation into what building interiors could be like for the game.
Could be, okay.
These are essentially dungeon kits. We want to be able to work on these areas in a fairly procedural manner, and we want these to be dungeon opportunities for gameplay spaces. It also will start to inform the future of player-owned habitation and the type of visuals or look and feels that could be.
Dude.
So this ties into a much larger initiative. So we're seeing it a little bit now with the redo of Lowville. That's turning into a much bigger cityscape. And what that means is every city in the game is ready for these building interior spaces.
Woo!
Now, one thing to note is the cityscapes are probably going to change a little bit. Just from an initial investigation, we found our buildings are quite small. So expect to see the skylines go through a period of transition, but that's cool because that means we're designing the inside of the buildings and then we'll redo the architecture to fit to that. So I think it's going to be super positive for the game. So just in case we was thinking it's all just blue sky concept, actually we're going to start full production on these spaces right at the end of this quarter.
Okay. Wow. That's exciting, man. I'm not gonna lie. That's cool. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work, but.
So what did we learn this week? Well, we learned that much like the new underground facilities we showcased before, building interiors will be a new series of modular set pieces, enabling a whole host of gameplay opportunities, from trade to exploration to combat and PvP and much more. And that, much like those new UGFs, they're going into production now, and in fact, by the time this airs, will already have started. And that the journey to 4.0 may have Pyro at its center, but it will still continue to evolve all aspects of Star Citizen and the existing persistent universe around it. Now, we'll be back with more Inside Star Citizen next week. But for our journey to 4.0, I'm Jared Huckabee, and we'll be back in about a month or so with our next big look forward. See you then.
That's awesome, dude. That excites me a lot. Let me be honest. That excites me a ton. I think the interior space is something that will make the game feel even more large and even more alive, and the stuff that they're looking to do in there as well. Let me know what you think about interior spaces, and if you think it's going to be similar to what we saw there, or if it's going to change completely when they finally start pushing it out. Apparently it is ready and they have been made to fit interior spaces. So I'm excited to see how they handle that and how that handles on server load. As always, ladies and gentlemen, 07s, God bless. Sub if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next video.